Alright guys, so we are back in Forza Motorsport doing our first league race in the Miatas. I'm recording this a little bit differently this time so I can actually focus on the race instead of trying to talk and race at the same time. But essentially, we're starting off here. All of us are limited to a 400 PI and then 200 horsepower, but you can choose any Miata that you want. So a lot of different cars going on here. I actually went for an 94, which means it's super lightweight, but I couldn't get a ton of power out of it without going,
oh shit,
too high in the PI. So we're gonna see what happens. Obviously, we're starting off there with an accident, of course, because it's the first couple of turns of a new race. But racing the Miatas was actually a lot of fun. You can always have fun in some of the slower cars. Miata, obviously, being one of the most fun to do it with. But here, opening stages of the race, everyone's kind of going all over the place. Everyone's getting used to their car. I had spent about 2 hours kind of leveling up the car, getting ready for this, and getting used to it. Unfortunately, everyone was on sport tires, so there won't be any tire changes or anything like that. And you saw me cut the corner there. I did not get a penalty. That's going to change in the near future. But a lot of fun racing with these guys. We had a great time. Now you'll see all of the kind of leaders start to pull away. My best in qualifying, I think, was like a 111, high 111, but actually ended up dropping down into like the 109s throughout the race as fuel started to get low. But some of the guys were running like 107s, and I don't know what Miata they were using, but they were really fast. But as you can see in the Miatas, good clean racing.
One thing I hate about this game is the little system that shows you where everyone is.
Running into each other the way it should be. As I almost run into the back of that one.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
But eventually, everyone's going to start kind of sorting themselves out, and we're going to end up in 9th place for a little while. I kept trying to cut that turn. Luckily, I managed to get through that time, even though the pink car obviously didn't make it out the other side. But 35 lap race, we did an endurance race, which 35 laps is forever in a Miata, but this track was actually a lot of fun. Everyone had a good time. See, we're trying to make our way up into 8th, but I just didn't have the power. I was only at like 176 horsepower for this race. Everyone else was maxed out at 200. So although we were light and we can keep up with the turns during the straights, they managed to get away from me. Everyone kind of running a little bit hectic to start. Now everyone starts kind of pulling away. It was a fairly lonely race until, well, still kind of lonely, but as you can see here, cut that corner. Got a 1.7 second penalty.
Did I really get 1.8 second penalty for that? Are you serious?
Or anything like that. Obviously, you can see my disappointment, to say the least. But managed to get a.
I got 1.8 for cutting the
chicane. I realized that when I was racing, and then in
the last one,
and
I have a cat sitting on my fucking lap, fucking with the mic. God damn it!
Didn't matter because I messed this up because there's a cat jumping on me and messing with the microphone. So finally, a little bit later in the race, around lap 15, get caught back up to some cars. Get to actually have some fun racing again. Once again, we're still in 9th. I managed to catch up to 8th. And then you'll see, I believe we end up getting another penalty right there. Which sets us back even further. Once again, you can tell I am ecstatic about that. Forza really needs to get their penalty system taken care of, because that's insane that I'm getting that much of a penalty for not doing much. And back a little bit later, we're on to lap 21. Everyone somehow managed to catch me. I don't know where they came from because they weren't really close, but somehow now they're just flying past me. I don't know if these were the guys that went into the pits or what happened, but and you'll see, I think that's like the 2nd place guy that's right there in the white car. Yep, so he's just kind of passing everyone. I don't know how these guys were so fast, because I think I got lapped twice by one of the other guys, which is insane in Miatas in a 35 lap race, but that just means I suck. Oh well. But now they start to get away from me just a little bit. We're down into 11th now. We got up to, I think, 8th at one point. Then here, once again, getting lapped for a second time by Treacherous. And we try and keep up with him for a little bit. Obviously, he moves around us, but once again, I think he had full 200 horsepower. I did not. So although we're kind of keeping up through these turns and everything, once he gets onto the straight, you'll see him just kind of pull away. I try and kind of follow his line just to, you know, see if I can kind of match what he's doing. But like you watch right here, he's just pulling away. I don't have the straight line speed like he does. But going into the braking zone, I got to brake way later than he did. Managed to catch right back up to him. Once again, my car was really light. I did a lot of weight-saving stuff. I did have on the race brakes and a bunch of other suspension changes and everything, which meant I couldn't put more power on the car, but tried to kind of stay with him through these turns. I stayed with him fairly well, but then coming out of this, obviously now you just watch him start walking away from me. It was fun while it lasted, but I'm pretty sure qualifying he ran like a 107, I ran a 111, so 4 seconds a lap faster on a lap that takes 70 seconds. It's not taking him that long to get caught back up to me. Like I said, I think this was the second time I got lapped by him, unfortunately. And there he goes, off into the distance, never to be seen by me again. Now we're going to switch gears. We are back up into 9th place. I don't exactly remember how that even happened, but once again, we have the green Miata behind us, and then there's another one not too far behind that. All of us have penalties, but unfortunately, I have more penalties than the green car, so I would have to stay ahead of him and try and build a second lead, and kind of realize that that wasn't going to happen. He's just faster than me. But we're at least going to have some good racing, have some fun. Once again, we're racing Miatas. It's not like we're in GT3 cars or something like that, where we're just going all out. Little Miatas, they can take a little bit of a beating and keep going on. And there goes the work of having the race brakes on the car. I don't know if the green car did or if he just braked early, but he then managed to kind of screw right back around me. But there he kind of goes outside, which forces me to try and not run into him. Which realistically in these cars, I should have just let him hit me. It probably wasn't going to do more than what I ended up doing to myself anyway. But luckily no penalty for it. How I didn't get a penalty for that, but I got a penalty for going 1 inch over the chicane at the end of the lap. I'll have no idea. And then we got the red car back behind us again, who actually does have a second and a half more penalty than we do. So the main goal here was, now that the green car is kind of disappearing, I want to make sure that we're staying with the red car. Even if he passes us, we're staying kind of close enough that, you know, we don't lose that place. I want to be able to try and keep the 10th place position. And luckily, same thing, we're racing clean. I'm not trying to push him off the track or anything like that. And once again, you're seeing my lack of power in the straights catch up to me here, but we're going to stay fairly well with him. We're about 34, 35, and as you can see through the turns, I'm staying right there with him. It's just on the straights they're managing to pull away on me. I think we get lucky and he makes a somewhat of a mistake here in a little bit. So it starts to pull away from me right there, but now we're going to catch up to a car that we are actually lapping, and a car that's just going way too slow. I'm not a fast driver. Somehow I'm managing to lap another car. But you can see we get back ahead of the red car. Red car kind of got screwed by the other one. And I think the other Miata was just kind of letting us through, knowing that we were kind of actually fighting for position in the race, which was nice of him. I don't know if he did that intentionally or if he's just terrible. Either way, it's us in the red car fighting, going into the last lap. once again, I lose out on the straight. I am going to probably redo the tune on my Miata just because if I can get a little bit or get up to that 200 horsepower mark, I think I'm actually staying with these cars and putting in much faster lap times. But we're keeping them at a solid 0.3 ahead of us. So once again, we got a second and a half to play with. Jack is way behind us. I don't know what happened to him. But just us two at the moment. No way we're catching the green car. Luckily, the race ends right there. Obviously, we didn't make it to the end of the lap, but it shows us finishing in 11th. But in a second, you will see we actually finished 10th. So there you go. First club race. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate it. See you guys later.